Greetings and welcome to the Inner Den. I'm finally home. I am so excited that I'm finally back in my house. And I've had 2 days to sit, integrate, unpack all my stuffs, and get settled in. And the timing of it is wild. As we dance right now in the middle of this eclipse portal, coming into doing some recapitulation as to what was coming up to you for you in September 2024. And what does your life look like now? We talk about programming here all the time and trying to be aware of how you're living your life, how you want to live your life, what's your next step. These are some of our core themes. And sitting in this portal, asking some questions. And just last night, I was actually playing out the list of what do I like that's in my life right now? What needs to change in my life right now? What am I good at? What am I ready to let go of? What do I want to do moving forward? Because with this whole last couple of weeks that I've been through, it has been, I think we counted 7 or 8 different houses, hotels, beds in the last 6 weeks with the amount of traveling that I've been doing. And so everything's just like, there is no program right now. And so landing back into my house for 2 full days of complete silence, except for a debrief with Christina, I've just had time to integrate back into my space. And so getting ready for this podcast today, it sounds like Michonne was feeling the same sort of thing. So I'm going to throw the ball over in her corner.
Yes, hello. Yeah, so the themes that have been kind of coming up for me have really been around gifts that I seem to have that, number one, I'm either haven't found a way to appreciate and integrate in a way that brings me joy and fulfillment. And because of that, there's this sense of I don't like this gift that I was given, and the gift seems to get exploited, or I get pigeonholed into these positions or into a role per se, right? It's kind of if you're an actor and you get typecast and you always play the same role, right? And so I've been really looking at that and how to go about breaking out of a cycle. And I'll give the example of multitasking here, right? We all know that there is no one who can say they can actually efficiently multitask. Okay. If you really think that you're doing 5 things at once, really you're having to refocus each time you switch to the other task. And so there's this sense of me not knowing how efficient I could be if I wasn't always multitasking or in a role that required really heavy reliance on that multitasking capacity. And also, is it me that's driving the multitasking? Are there better ways for me to be in relationship with the list, per se, whatever that is? So really looking at some of that for myself. Yeah.
When we are multi-talented, sometimes the gift is a curse. And when it's so deeply programmed, I totally hear you. And trying to figure out how you want to share your gift. I think that's where sometimes the block is, because for me, trying to create this online world when we're used to hands-on.
Yeah.
Yes, you're still speaking the same words, but it comes across differently because you're not face to face. That's just one example, but I too am struggling with that. It's that how do you want to show up? And how do you stop showing up the way people expect you to? And I know Christina can absolutely identify with having to reprogram people once you've taught them how to treat you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that I've been dealing with at work, and I sure can't write a manual on it yet, but I'm working on it. Not writing the manual, but retraining the people. And yeah, it's been an additional challenge, I feel like this year because I've been sick and I've been away. And then when you're playing catch up, I feel like it hits you harder. This multitasking, this having to go that extra mile just to get things done by a certain time. So dealing with all of that and realizing at the same time that's no longer serving me to push to that extent. And having to retrain people in a way that is positive. It's not just about, oh, hey, I can't do this anymore. It's about seeking help and finding new solutions. And that's definitely something I've been working on every day, I think, for the last little while.
Because just because we can do it doesn't
Correct.
mean we should have to do it all the time. But for us overachievers and overdoers and hyper independent and teaching everybody in our world that we are fully capable, it doesn't necessarily mean we want to. Maybe in the
Right.
beginning. I remember having conversations with Christina when she first started working here, like, I can't even remember how long ago, a decade, maybe even.
Close.
It was that she had to prove herself, right? There was a, I'm going to do it all because I need to be seen
Mhm.
and I need to prove that I can do this. And then what happens is we train everybody around us and then they just start to expect it. So there's an undoing there.
There is, but I think you have to look at it from a different perspective sometimes as well. It's not saying I can't do it anymore. I can do it, but I need to do it differently. And what is that going to look like? So it's putting the people and the processes in place to still make things happen. But I think it's coming more from a leadership place now. So more of what what can I give away? What can I get support to do? And who can support me? So these things are still going to get done. It's just going to look differently because I don't have to be the one doing it all. And it's also about what can you let go? And I think you touched on that, Michonne. So
Yeah.
when you're making all these little decisions and the big decisions, so what's important and what isn't? And sometimes it's okay to delegate something and maybe it's not done the way that you would do it or set up in the way you would do it. Is it still going to work? Are you still going to get that outcome? Maybe that's not the hill you want to die on.
And we know it's hard to delegate, especially
Well,
if
you
it,
also have to have people to delegate to.
100%.
and is that part of the issue right now for you,
For me, a
for
little
Michelle?
bit. Oh, for Michonne, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. If we're gonna, yes, yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
without, you know,
I can remember being in that position in the gymnastics world. When we talk about gifts, there's also this space where not everybody can do what we do, period. That's not ego. When you've put over 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 hours into something, it's not ego to say that you're good at what you do. And so there's also a space of sometimes there just isn't anybody to fill. And then what? Christina watched me burn out in the gym actively, right? And because I did not have the help that I needed. And so at that point, then you're at choice as to whether that environment is still healthy for you. Because we
it's
know we're
funny.
always at choice.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes when we're back in these places where we feel boxed in, it's hard sometimes to remember that we are at choice.
Yes, it can be very
And
difficult.
yeah. And so the other thing is for me, for at least a good 4 months right now, it's been a steady prayer of mine, and it's literally right here on my desk. And it's use me, God, show me how to take who I am, who I want to be, what I can do, and use it for a purpose greater than myself. And additionally, help me align my free will to your plan. And I think that's some of also what's coming in, right? So it's, if this is a gift that is supposed to bring me joy and fulfillment, then why isn't it? Or what am I doing wrong, right? And we've said that before. Can you please just be really clear and show me the path, or at least push me down the right way, right? So really asking for that. And then you mentioned the burnout piece, and again, that is the feeling that I've had. It is a big fire season, so that could be again part of it. But I'm going to a burnout detox thing tomorrow. So it's an online event, and it just stumbled across my feed today and happens to be tomorrow.
Perfect.
Pardon me?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what that brings in the weeks ahead, right?
Yeah. Well, the dissolving, that's all I've been hearing this last week during this eclipse quarter, this next week here. It's about what's dissolving. What's dissolving? And if something's burning you out, is it time to dissolve it? Or take a different perspective or approach with it? If there's something that you're trying to move towards, you got to let go of something to make room for that new thing. But that's the terrifying part. That's the scary part. So trusting the leading and your intuition to let go. That's the hard part. I feel like I've been walking through that for the last 6 weeks. You guys, like, I think just about every podcast we've done in the last month, I've been in a different space, right? and I have been forced to let go, just like Christina was forced to let go when this new diagnosis came up. It sounds like you're being squeezed, love. The contractions of Mother Earth are real. They're
Yeah.
real. So what I did when I came home is I reorientated myself with my body first. I had to take 2 carloads to get all my stuff back into the house. And if we remember, I was only home for a day or two from the first 2 weeks before I had to pack up. Like I haven't even put away my summer camp stuff yet, okay? Like that happened this afternoon. And I still have 2 more garbage bags to go through. And then the 2 more cars. And so I didn't care for the first day that my house was a disaster and shit was everywhere. I needed to take care of my body. So the baths and the rituals that you do, the cream, like all the things, pulled out my biomat, laid on it for 3 hours and cooked myself till I was sweating to death. Like I did the things that I know ground me and bring me back into my body, because you can't make these big decisions if you're not in your body. And just before we got on, Michonne, I mentioned that we're going into Virgo season. So the earth is going to support us with that because Virgo is an earth element. So
it's very structured. It likes organization and cleanliness, and it's a great. That's why it's back to school time too.
yeah, yeah, right. And I came home pretty depleted. I was the last 2 days when we came home, like we came home from the lake on Saturday, and Sunday afternoon I came home. And I don't know if there's potable water out there, not drinking water, but we both came home with not a huge bug like you'd get in Mexico, but we both came home off, like sick off. And so for 2 days, I wasn't feeling well, and then had to move all my stuff back. And so tending to my body that whole first day shifted everything for me. The silence, the self-care, that shifted everything. And last week we talked about the cranky that was in the room. Everybody was a little jarred, right? And now the burnout's coming. If you go back, the arc
Mhm.
is here, and so you feel it in your body first, that agitation, the cranky pants, like that's what comes in first. And so it doesn't surprise me that a burnout thing showed up for you for today to go to tomorrow, right? That is the universe supporting you, going, hey, here's some nourishment for you. Yeah. Yeah. And these transitions are crunchy. They are crunchy. And I've also been hearing, and this is why I think I spent so much time in silence. And like, I think I went through half a bottle of cream. Like, my being at the beach for a week, my skin was like, but that self nourishing, right? Because I could feel the crank and my body didn't feel good because of whatever we ate, drank, whatever. And then I wasn't even thinking about the Virgo coming in. So making choices from that space, but choosing your body first. Everything I'm reading online is that make no big decisions this week. So why don't we just focus on our body?
Definitely a little bit better off to do that, and or just your physical body's needs as well. Yeah, in general.
Yeah. Christina, what are you doing for yourself right now with this new,
Well,
like, because you're trying to run a new program now. So while you're trying to teach everybody at work or retrain everybody about your
reprogramming.
needs,
Mhm.
reading, how are you self-caring?
Right now, to be honest, I'm hanging on till Saturday. Kind of a little bit of white knuckling till then, but I've already looked at some things. So I just had another blood test on my birthday. Happy birthday to me. And but it was really good. My A1C number, and if you don't know, that's the test they use to diagnose diabetes, and then it's kind of the follow-up test where they're seeing where you're at. And that number is almost cut in half. It is like where they want to see it. It's really excellent right now. And I would be happier if it was a little bit lower, but it's really good. But the downside is insulin makes you gain a little bit of weight, which I'm not happy with because again, that presents another barrier to keeping my blood sugar under control. So it's not just aesthetic wanting to lose weight. There's a medical reason for it. The key is for me to be able to balance to the point that I can take less insulin. And so it's time to look at my nutrition training and come up with a meal plan that will let me take less insulin. It's not ridiculous to do. It's actually kind of basic. After this week, I'm going to be looking at that and then slowly incorporating going back into the gym. So those are those are definitely pieces that will impact my body in a positive way. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
And what are you using right now, Michonne,
Correct.
for self-care?
Nothing out of the ordinary besides going to that event tomorrow. Yeah. So it's the usual things, but obviously they're not working.
And interestingly enough, I was inspired last week to repick up my guitar. With just what you said, the usual, we get into the programmed routines, and sometimes we need to shake those up to get some new inspiration. And I grew up around music. I can remember barely being able to walk. One of my core memories was we had a stand-up piano in our house, and I was in diapers, like I was little, and up against the piano, underneath where the pedals are, by my dad's feet, listening to him play the piano and having the vibrations go through my body. Music lessons from 6 years old to high school, band, stage band. Music was a huge part of my life. And this person I'm with pushed me to bring the guitar. And every single day while we were out there, we sang and we played. Played until my fingers bled, like ouchies. But that unlocked something that was dormant. And so it's just a reminder that sometimes we even get into programmed routine with our self-care and it loses its magic and it needs to be re-inspired.
Yeah, you actually reminded me that last Friday I had another thing weirdly come across my feed that was about an hour. I had to go into town anyway, an hour away, and there was a sound bowl journey that they were having at 5 o'clock on Friday. So I showed up and went, and it was good. I was glad that I went. Yeah. So there is other stuff that I've been doing, but it's not daily.
Yeah. Yeah. And being so unprogrammed for almost 6 weeks, when I came home, I said to myself, I'm going to, because there was a whole bunch of renovations done while I was gone as well. And so I came home to construction dust and my stairs outside, like some of the walkways gone, like big renovation stuff. And so I thought, here's an opportunity to walk into my space with fresh eyes. And because I'd said goodbye to everything, right?
Yeah.
And it lived. And so when I came back into my house, it was like, okay, new perception. I've had new experience. I'm not coming home the same human. So am I happy with the way that my living room is set up? Do I like how I have my bedroom? What could I change? From my experiences, I got some really great pictures. Maybe I want to switch some pictures out. And so I started, like I said, the first day was like, but today and yesterday, I moved plants around, put new crystal grids around, switched up some things. And I am intentionally making my space new again to not go back into the old patterns. I'm doing it on purpose. I'm doing it with awareness and looking around. And especially because we're right in the middle of this eclipse portal, I take these times. What needs to go? There's things that I still scan in my space and go, oh, that reminds me of that human. It's time for that to leave. I don't need that reminder anymore. And the layers and considering rearranging rooms, like literally shifting my office out of here into another space, like big things. And it shakes the energy around in your house as well. It's that feng shui, right? So that's also a way to bring more energy into your space and help raise your energy. So next week, you may be at a decision then But right now, it's just self-care for this week. How can we raise our energy? How can we nurture our bodies? How can we get rid of some of this crank? How can we get rid of some of that angst so that next week our energy is, like Christina said, she's white knuckling till Saturday. Sounds like you're giving the same position.
Yeah, but I just, yeah, if you're thinking if you think that next week it's all going to be done, first of all, the eclipse isn't until the end of the week. And remember, this is more like a 6-month period of time, and this was just a doorway. I know it feels, what?
Yeah, for me, it's more stuff actually being finished at work. Certain things are completed.
Yeah.
It's not astrological.
Yeah. For me, I kind of, the visual that came up in the head when you were saying, yes, it starts now, but it continues for 6 months. For me, it's when you're pulling the string on the lawnmower, that you're starting it. The intention is there. The start is there. And sometimes it takes a couple of really hard pulls on that string to get it going, and then you got to get it moving. So yes, absolutely, there's a process. But we know the process starts with intent.
And we do have a few more days of fire. We don't transition into Earth until the 22nd.
22nd. And today
Saturday.
is the 19th. Oh, Saturday. So we have till the weekend until the transition goes.
Yeah.
That whole fire horse, can you ride the fire horse, man? I'm grateful that the fire is starting to calm down a little bit, and we're going to get some earth energy coming in, because holy 5-point harness ride.
Yeah. That's actually another thing that I've been having to do a little bit more often than normal. Is I live out in the country, so I can just basically step outside and be in nature, but I've been having to take shoes off and be more in physical contact than just be in nature. It's been really important for me to ground and to let some of I'm more of a water emotion, not a fire emotion. So I need to ground the fire emotion that rises.
The hands on the body, the moisturizing your skin, the self hugs. That's honestly what's been getting me through this time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that you're saying that you need even more physical contact with your feet on the earth, but maybe get your hands involved too.
Yeah. I'll lay on
Crawling in the dirt. I was rolling around in the sand.
Oh my God. I so want a sweat lodge right now. I would love to go to a sweat right now. But I know the person who I would normally reach out to for locally, it isn't normally here during the summer. Maybe I'll.
That's interesting that you said sweat, because I literally cooked myself on my biomat yesterday to the point of detox sweat, and needed that sweat detox. So I hear you. The energy is intense.
Yeah. I've been wanting a sauna for a while. At some point, I'll push myself over the edge and get a small outhousey kind of one or something.
Oh man, there's so many options. And if you just need a sweat, there are, and I probably would have got that instead of the mat that I have. The mat that I have is industrial and it lays on a massage table, but I just put it on a bed and watch TV while I'm on it. But you can get now infrared furry sleeping bags.
Yeah.
And they cook you. So you get the heat, you get the infrared, which is so healing, and the texture of the furry blanket. Oh man, that totally. I was like, that is amazing. But then you wouldn't need to, I guess it depends on whether you want
No, I want an infrared sauna. That's what
you want to inhale it too, not just live in it.
Yep.
Right?
I want the steam, I want to pour water, I want the oils, I want the infrared, I want it all.
Yeah,
Preferably wood burning, but that's a big ask for and a lot more effort and time to get prepped.
yeah. If that's what you're looking for, you can get those at Costco and you can set that up in your house.
Yep. But I do have a friend who got one and she couldn't get it up to temp. So they're just not insulated very well. So you still need to, yeah, the ones you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds like that might be on your agenda then. Do a little research on those.
Yeah. I don't see it in the very near future, but maybe.
It's on the wish list. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Step one.
Yeah.
What
They come
about
up at Marketplace now and then, but I don't know. Facebook Marketplace? Yeah.
sometimes? And is there a rec center? There's usually steam rooms and pools, and is there somewhere you can go?
Remember, I'm an
You're out in
hour away from the nearest thing you would call a gym. There are, I think there's a 24-hour fitness within a half hour, but I don't think they have
They
that.
wouldn't have. Yeah. Yeah. Crawling in the dirt is where it's at right now then for you.
That's right. Exactly.
I love that. I love that. And I love doing it. One of the things that I loved the most last week was we went to this waterfall. And yes, the waterfall was amazing. All waterfalls are amazing, but what was the most amazing was the walk into it. That the water had just sliced through and it was just this very tight canyon. And man, the energy, you could almost feel it bouncing off the walls in there. And it was literally like a fairy playground. I couldn't even believe it. I'm dreaming about it. I want to go back there again and actually spend some time. And so I just really hope that humans understand how important it is to go and find these places where you can reconnect. You're so lucky to be on property. People are living in apartment buildings, I can't even imagine. So finding these little hidey holes in your neighborhood, even if it's just a little bit farther out, it's important to go and not just touch grass, but commune with nature and allow the earth to heal you.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the more we talk about this, people will get inspired to go and find those hidey holes. They're magic. There still is magic in the world. You can find it. And in some places, it's more palpable than others. And you'll be surprised at how close it actually is to you if you just look. It was in, I want to say early 30s, but not, it was 30 degrees today. And my poor plant outside was just like, it gets way too hot, direct sun the whole day. And I brought it inside, put it on a table so that it could get a little bit of sun, put it by a salt lamp and a quartz crystal cluster. And within half an hour, it was standing up again. So you can even create little magic spaces in your house if you can't get out. Bring nature into your house. Plants are great. Crystals are great. Salt lamps are great. Smells. Like you said, the essential oils, the smudging. If you can't get out to nature, then bring nature inside.
Absolutely. I would tell you how many plants I have, but it's too many.
Oh, now I gotta know.
I don't know. I can because
Is
there's
it
so many.
that many?
Yeah, and then there's all the plant babies. It's somewhere between 50 and 100. Yeah.
Wow.
One day I'll give it another go.
I was going to say, Christina, you want to tell the plant story?
No.
Yeah. Can I?
Which one? I know which one.
You know which one.
I know which one.
Do it.
You want me to tell it?
Yeah.
All right. So this was way back in whatever 2009. It was the year that I was moving out of my husband's house. And people came to help me move stuff and that kind of thing. Makes sense. And I had this plant, and I said, be really careful. I just watered it this morning, so it might drip if you would tip it over. And Angel might have asked why I watered it. So, because it was dry. She said, yeah, because it's paper, that it was a fake plant that I had got from our gymnastics club. And I thought I was doing a good thing by watering a plant for a change. Because even my cactuses had died. So I was trying.
Oh, I got lots of leverage out of that for the next decade.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And
No longer have
you
my
no
plant.
luck with the cactuses either, huh?
Yeah, they died too.
No.
One died twice. And my child, when she was 4 years old, and we're at some doctor's dentist's office, something, this beautiful fake plant in the corner. Mom, you should get some like this because they can't die.
Yep.
If it makes you
Yeah.
feel any better, I have killed plants too. So there's a couple of plants that I'm not good at keeping alive. That it's mainly because I can't create the right environment for them, like temperature, humidity, air flow, blah.
Clearly, I
All the
haven't created
things.
the right environment for any of them, except the fake one.
Its
Excellent.
status did not change even when she watered it. So it still stayed green and beautiful.
Excellent. Oh,
Yeah, and I do miss having plant babies. I haven't had plants for a long time. And when I moved into this space last April, my brother bought me a housewarming plant, and it was a perennial. And I actually potted it because I didn't know if I was staying here and there's not really a garden. So I put it in a pot. Never had a perennial in a pot. And so when it died, I just threw it in my cold room, spent the winter there. And lo and behold, in the spring, it started, and now it's double the size that it was when I got it last year. And I'm just so happy with it. So even when when I was saying when I left because of the fires, what do I take? The plant went to his house. The plant made the cut. It's a living being. It needed to come with me. It's been the constant besides the dogs in the house. So the dogs and the plant came with me.
I've moved in across the country and moved my plants. At one point I had a U-Haul that was also towing my vehicle, and my vehicle was full of all the plants. And then because I was moving from way up north to way down south, you have to stop overnight one place, and it was a little chilly, so there were a bunch of them that I
Did you take
get out of the
out?
car and bring inside that were too sensitive for the dip, even if they were in the car. So yeah,
they're your babies.
that's right. I've literally got one in there that's as tall as me and probably going on 30 years old, at least 25. So
Oh, you're a plant mama.
yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm a plant grim reaper, apparently.
Maybe in this next cycle, we should experiment. You should experiment with getting a plant.
And there are
Perhaps.
particular plants that are good for people.
I was going to say, start her
Like
out with
me.
a spider or something, right? Spider plants are very hard to kill. You could
Are you
start
sure about that?
with
No comment. Ugh.
You kept 4 children alive.
I know. I don't
think you
know. Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
could take on a plant now. I think you could try.
I'm concerned now that my cats will eat it because they eat the fake ones too.
Yeah. There's
Well,
methods for that, but
Mm.
yeah, it gets to be, yeah, tinfoil in there or forks pointed upwards. And
or hang it from the ceiling in a plant hanger, then
Mhm.
she can.
yeah, that could entice a cat, really.
But this is Christina's cat.
It's true. Love my cats. Intelligence is not their strong suit.
Nor flying through the air at hanging plants.
Flying through the air, maybe, but I don't think they'd fly through the air at the plant.
Now I'm dying for the experiment. I say you do the experiment.
Ah,
Oh, we need a new plant story, Christina. The other one's old.
yeah, to be continued.
All right. So this week we are going to maybe find some inspiration in some new self-care things. Maybe that will help. And Christina's going to buy a plant. Or if you come out here for September long weekend, I will get you a plant and then you can go on a road trip with your plant.
Perfect. We can bond.
Yes, exactly. It works for Michonne. She takes her plants on car rides.
Yeah, but they weren't in the cab with me.
But mine won't
They're
have to stay in a
probably
hotel.
resentful back there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, loves. We will see you all next week.
Bye.